This is a weather update. This is for Sunday morning, the 26th of March. I'm James Spann. Another active weather day today. It's March in Alabama. These things happen. We had the tragic tornado situation Friday night in Mississippi and parts of Alabama. And today, again, severe storms across the state. Some have been rumbling through the central counties of the state since early this morning. In fact, let's go right to the radar. And that's what people have been dealing with really for the past 6 hours or so. Thunderstorms producing fairly large hail in spots, moving across the central part of the state. And again, that's going to be the main concern for the next few hours, the possibility of large hail. We've seen hailstones almost up to 2 inches in diameter in spots early this morning. That is a very rude Sunday morning wake-up call. And you can see we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of central Alabama. You can see one for parts of Dallas and Perry counties, one for parts of Elmore County. And any of these storms could produce small hail. The severe criteria, it's 1 inch hail, 1 inch in diameter. If hail exceeds the size of a quarter, then technically it's severe. The only other way a storm can be severe, it's damaging wind. So let's look at the severe weather situation for today across the state. We have an enhanced risk over the central and southern counties of the state today. And within that area, we could see a few storms that produce large hail. And again, obviously, the chance of damaging straight-line winds and maybe a few isolated tornadoes. The greatest concern today, it's not necessarily from the tornado threat like we typically see. It's from large hail, like we've seen this morning. And again, I often say that storms will talk to you in a situation like today. And these early morning storms, I think, are telling us that might be the greatest concern today. It's the possibility of large hail. And in fact, I'll put the risk up on the screen here so you can see it. There we go. There's a look at the risk for today. You can see that enhanced risk for parts of central and south Alabama. That would include cities like Montgomery, Selma, Troy, Greenville, Grove Hill, Evergreen, Demopolis, Butler. That's the area there in orange. That's level 3 out of 5. And if you're north of Interstate 20, we don't really expect any severe weather today. North of Birmingham, north of Tuscaloosa, north of Anniston. If you're in Cullman, Huntsville, the Shoals, you might see some rain, but really much of the day will be dry there. The greatest concern, it's south of Interstate 20, and especially south of Alabama 22. That would be Clanton, Alexander City, places like that. There is a slight risk up to near Tuscaloosa and Talladega. So just be aware the greatest concern, again, is the possibility of large hail, but there certainly could be a few tornadoes. In fact, I want to show the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes today. And we do note that a hatched area has been introduced in that enhanced risk. And when you see a hatched area in the risk areas from SPC, that means there could be a strong tornado. And by definition, that's EF2 or higher. We're not expecting that many, and we might get away with no tornadoes at all. But if we can see sustained updrafts that rotate, if a tornado can get down, it could be a strong one today. Again, in that part of Alabama, and this would include places like Montgomery, Troy, Greenville, Evergreen, Selma, Demopolis, Camden, Butler, that part of Alabama, the Black Belt area of the state, if you will. And again, we'll just kind of it'll be a day today where folks just want to pay attention to the weather. Let's go to the radar again. We'll take a look at, kind of stop this and take a look at some of the active warnings. Doing this update live at, 6:46 a.m. And again, you can see that storm is producing hail in parts of Coosa and Elmore counties to the north of Wetumpka. This is pretty much along U.S. Highway 231 around communities like Equality near the Coosa, Elmore County line. And we've seen these things all night, all during the pre-dawn hours. And all of the warnings are based on the possibility of large hail. And again, the warnings in effect for parts of Coosa and Elmore counties there. And again, here's another one producing hail. This is really north of Selma, up Highway 22 between Selma and Stanton, Valley Grande, places like that. You probably got some large hail falling. And again, there is some broad rotation within these storms, and we've got to watch this as the day progresses. It's very possible that we could see a few tornadoes. And again, we're kind of watching the This area right down in through here. And you can see that pendant and an inflow notch. And that could be a situation where a tornado warning could be required if the circulation tightens up. We've seen a lot of circulations like this morning across the state that just tried and they really couldn't develop. But again, that's approaching Selma. So if you are in Selma, just be aware of that. And again, most people watch these videos later in the day. I'm really speaking to those of you that are watching it live here, obviously. And again, this is at 6:50 Sunday morning. So just be aware that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be seeing during the course of the day today. And again, inevitably, we will have a few tornado warnings, especially, for parts of central and south Alabama. So again, let's go back to the full screen here and kind of go back to the wide view. And also, there's another severe thunderstorm warning down here for Choctaw County. This would include Butler. That's some pretty large hail coming up on Alabama Highway 17 down to, between Toxie and Butler. And again, it's and the other thing, too, we got a lot of heavy rain going on here, and there could be some flooding issues, especially where the storms go over the same areas. And we've seen that a lot today, storms that are just training. So, again, I'm not going to keep you long here today. It's a busy morning. We got a lot of things happening, but I just wanted to just hop on here very quickly and remind everybody that this will be another active day for the southern two-thirds of the state. And, again, if you're just joining us, we'll take a look at the severe weather outlook for today. We have an enhanced risk that is level 3 out of 5 for parts of central and south Alabama. And, again, that would include Montgomery, Tuskegee, Troy, Greenville, Camden, Demopolis, Butler, Grove Hill, Auburn, communities like that. We have a slight risk up to Tuscaloosa and Talladega and Wedowee. And again, north of Interstate 20, we don't expect any severe storms today. The issue will be south of Interstate 20 and really north of Interstate 10. If you're in Mobile, most of this will be north of you. And the main concern, large hail. And we've had some hail damage early this morning. Goodness, if you've been in these thunderstorms producing hail, you know this situation. This is the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes today. And again, the probabilities aren't overwhelming, but we do note that SPC has introduced that hatched area, which means there could be a few isolated strong tornadoes in there. And again, by definition, that's EF2 or higher. So, and again, I just want to stress that days like this happen here. This is late March. This is common this time of the year. Just no need to be anxious or overly worried about the weather today. Just get the warnings, have a plan, and as always, we'll get through the day together just fine. We'll be posting updates, and of course, should we have any tornado warnings that are in my television market, that's the Birmingham market, we'll be on the TV side on ABC 3340, and if we have tornado warnings down in South Alabama, I'll do my best to do some long-form stuff here on the social platforms today as time allows. A lot of people forget that there's a lot of stuff I have to do every day. I do the weather for 25 radio stations around the country, and obviously have to take care of my responsibilities at the TV station in Birmingham, ABC 3340. But as time allows, we do a lot of stuff for other parts of the state as well. So we'll be watching all this carefully today. Stay with us. We'll keep you advised. I'm James Spann. This has been a special Sunday morning update. The next one here will be tomorrow morning by 5:15. Again, we'll talk later today. Be weather aware. Have a great day, and God bless.